Om Asato Ma Satkamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. O Mother, hold our hand. Take us across from unreal to real, from ignorance, from darkness to wisdom to light. Take us from death to immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace. This ignorance to wisdom is the sense of bodiliness to reality. What has happened is, from the influence of the Western world, strongly since 16th century, all we are aligned with our body and mind. And where do we stand today? You know now, being a traveler in the Advaita Vedanta, that you can see me, you can hear me, you can touch, taste and smell, etc., all because of the five senses. And you know, being a Vedantist, that none of those is possible unless you're conscious. If you're unconscious, you cannot see me, you cannot listen, you cannot do anything. No Advaita Vedanta also. No tasting, touching, pleasure, eating, nothing. So what has happened is we got aligned with the body, and the Western mind cannot think beyond that. But the Western world is waking up. So Alan Aspect, Joel Zellinger, and John Alton are the three Nobel Prize winners in 2022, 6th of October, got the Nobel Prize. And they said, this world is locally not real. Please Google it. Come on, dear devotee, dear seeker, you're the seeker for the truth. The truth is only one word for Advaita Vedanta. Only one word. Reality. You say, what is reality? Like that consciousness alone is reality, which is Brahman. So you say, all right, very great. So give me some of that Brahman. And Advaita Vedanta says, Tat Tvam Asi, you are that. So in Uttaranchal, in Himalaya, class is going on. And to the teacher, one man from the other side of the hall said, just 1 minute, sir. In Hindi, he said, Aap wahan hai, main yahan hu. Aap wahan hai, main yahan hu. मैं सर्वव्यापी कैसे हो गया? How am I placed everywhere, omnipresent? I am Brahman, I'm supposed to be omnipresent. So the guru, teacher, answered as swiftly and as gently. He said, हाँ, वहां और यहां दोनों ही क्या आप में नहीं है? आप वहां और मैं यहां, ये दोनों ही क्या आप में नहीं है? Meaning, I am here and you are there. Both are in your consciousness. Your consciousness is telling you that I am not there. This consciousness is, let's say, you are seeing this object. So now, this object has come into your seeing. And the seeing is with the eye, but it is not possible unless you are conscious. If I am in coma, I cannot perceive the world. World is vanished from me. If I'm unconscious, I can't see you. You can't see me if you're unconscious. If you are in deep sleep, you can't see me. So the five senses are connected to the brain. You see an object, it comes into your seeing. That seeing with the consciousness, light falls on it and creates an image in the optical lens, and with the optic nerve, with the inverted image. Remember the school days education. And it sends it to the brain. Brain sends it to the mind. Mind receives it, but the mind is powered by the consciousness called reflective consciousness or subconscious mind. Joseph Murphy, wonderful book, Power of Subconscious Mind. Read it. Now that consciousness is powered the subconscious mind, a reflective consciousness, which in turn powers the brain, brain powers the senses, and that is how you are having this object in your seeing. Think now. It is coming to your seeing. So nothing in this world is possible unless you're conscious. That conscious powering the reflective consciousness of the mind, mind powering the brain, brain powering the senses. This is how we perceive the world. This is what the three Nobel Prize winners said. This world is not real. Not really, not locally real. What does it mean? They proved, I have shared with you, with the double slit experiment. Please Google it. It's wonderful to read and witness and understand that Vedanta talked about thousands of years ago, more than 6,000 years ago. And now, 6th of October 2022, Western world is discovering what? That there needs to be an observer for you to see the world. You know something? Just by the way, I am tempted to share with you. This was quantum physics. And this was the originally Hasinger and Niels Bohr. Now both of them were Einstein's contemporary. Einstein was also a physicist, one of the top physicists at that time. But he didn't believe in the quantum physics. And he said, what bosh? Only an observer makes the thing exist? I don't agree with you. You tell me. He challenged. What? If I don't look at the moon, moon will vanish. Moon will cease to exist. What nonsense, what bosh. And it is proven, it is true. If you're not seeing it, all right, but the sun's gravitational and the earth's gravitational force, they both are seeing that moon. The moon would continue to be observed. Now, if you look carefully, understand that in our Advaita Vedantic, if you are not conscious, you are not observer, your eyes are not functioning, so how can I can exist for you? If I'm in coma, isn't the whole world vanished from me? So nothing else is real if the consciousness is not there. You say, no, wait. In this around us, there's so many electron, proton, neutron, viruses, and etc., floating around. You can't see them. Don't they exist? What about that flower in Himalaya? You can't see it. Or the North Pole, you can't see it. Or under the ground, you can't see it. Don't they exist? So, understand the explanation of the Vedanta. Vedanta goes ahead and says, yes, they do exist in the awareness of you as a non-existing element. I don't see the flower now. Maybe I will see it sometime. I don't see the North Pole now, but I have read and heard about it existing, and maybe I will go down and see it one day. but it is in existence of my awareness. You are there, I am here. Both are in my awareness. Awareness of the distance, awareness of the two different bodies. What about the awareness itself? The consciousness itself is Brahman, is Ishvara. And what Advaita Vedanta says, everything in this universe has got different name, different body, different structure, different form, different color, different texture, everything different except one, and that is consciousness. Everything has got one consciousness alone. So when you're an enlightened master, enlightened, an English professor is playing with the word enlightened. Is that enlightened is when the light falls on it and you come to know about it. And the other one is enlightened is when you come to know and the weight of your ignorance goes away. So you're enlightened, meaning you feel light. So the enlightened masters are the ones who attain nirvana. You know what does nirvana mean? Nirvana is the one who is enlightened. How is he enlightened? He is out of three van, nirvana. Three vana. Vana is arrow. The first arrow is the arrow of death. A person who has attained nirvana, he is beyond death. Because he knows what will die is only this body will die. This body is not me. Aham brahmasmi, main hi brahma hu. Prajnana Brahman, that consciousness alone is Brahman. Mahavakyas, I am Atman Brahman, and Tattvamasi, four Mahavakyas. So, first is the Vana of death. Nirvana, enlightened master, is gone beyond that. Second is the ignorance. Ignorance is the second Vana or the arrow. Another meaning for this is ignorance is like inert, don't know anything. Think for a second. We all live to live long, no? Nobody thinks about death. I want to live. I remember when we started our career, everybody was saying 300 years, 400 years. We're going to live. We used to talk like that, and people used to laugh. So nobody likes to die. But think, supposing I take away your consciousness, you cannot see, hear, touch, taste, smell, experience, nothing. Would you like to live like an inert object? Like this table, like this chair, like the wall, like the mountain? Would you like to exist? No. You are to enjoy and have fun with the world and taste and touch and eat this and eat that and send that and send that and smell that and taste it and experience and touch it. We want to experience the world and go outwards. So the Advaita Vedanta takes you across you, which is you is the consciousness, to within you. Within your, this body, antahkarana, and takes you to realize that Supreme Brahman, which what happens now? First arrow, death goes away from you. Second arrow, ignorance goes away from you. That is, the illusion goes away from you. And then the third arrow is the suffering. Suffering goes away from you. How will the suffering goes away? Think for a second. Easy example is a dream. Let's say you're dreaming. And you're dreaming and you have gone off to Jurassic Park and the dinosaurs are chasing you and you're sweating and you're screaming and you wake up. You were frightened in the dream. Now you wake up. Now think, that suffering during the dream, and now saying, thank God it was a dream, aren't both in your mind? It is in your mind, isn't it? And now think, the moment you realize it was only a dream, it was only an illusion, and it is only generated from my mind, that suffering has gone away. It is like two middle-aged couple. Both the couple's sons are living abroad, and I'm talking about 100 years back, as per the story. And son is to send lots of money to the father, and father and mother were having a nice retired life. And one of the neighbor was very jealous of that. So one day he comes and said, I got a message from my friend. I'm sorry to tell you, your son is dead. All the joy and the fun and the laughter of the husband and the wife, father and the mother gone. Shattered, howling, crying away, miserable, not eating. Just imagine. Son is very much alive. So what happened? It is all in their mind. The other couple, who was also in the similar state, son is to send a lot of money from abroad, and father and mother were living a nice retired life. Son is actually dead. Father and mother don't know about it. They still continue to live happily. And they're telling this other couple who have come to know falsely that my son is dead and no more. Poor you, come, I am with you, whatever help you need. They didn't know that their son is actually dead. So it is all in the mind. So this mind is the one which has got four functions. Intellect, which is buddhi, which is data. Without data, no intelligence. Intelligence is bits of data. Example, a child is growing up in this. As you know, the babies born with the past karma as per ancient Vedanta, and many religions believe in the past life, but the baby's brain is now picking up data on this life. Brain is picking up, physical brain. If the baby is growing up in this room, but no mom, no dad, no teacher, no data, what will happen to the baby in 6 years' time? The baby will be totally like a vegetable, no? Imagine if the baby is growing up in the jungle, receives what data? Animal data, plants data, weather data. It will be like an animal. Tarzan or Mowgli, isn't it? If he is growing up in the maidservant's home, it will be like the maidservant, like a loader, like a taxi driver maximum. If he is growing up in yours and my home, hey, they'll be like you and me. And look carefully. We all are like our parent. But yes, you and I are better than our parent. Why? Not better because of the aesthetic or purity, better in terms of economic, because we have better data, we have better infrastructure, we are more intelligent. We learn to utilize it. Same way, this world is not real. So here the metaphor is today's talk, that this whole world, this whole universe is blazingly lit by the consciousness like the sun. Sun is like the consciousness, and it is lighting up the mind. But the mind is like the moon. Light falls on the moon, moon sends it to the earth, earth gets it, that is through the brain, through the senses, is we see the full moonlight at night, see the earth. But moonlight is snigdha, is very pleasant, is very calming. Sun's light is blazing hot. Many people is to call Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the Ajinkya Bheda Bhedi, is a part of the Advaita Vedanta from Nyaya Shastra, is the originator of the Hare Krishna Hare Rama. ISKCON, he is the originator, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Paramahansa Ramakrishna used to call him. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is about little close to 300 years before Paramahansa Ramakrishna. He used to say that his knowledge, that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's knowledge, he was a Nyaya Pandit, great Pandit on logic, ancient India's logic. We don't know that ancient India's logic is far, far ahead of the Western logic. But it has lost its ground because very few people know about it now. But you will be surprised that in Stony Brook, near New York, Parimal is one great Nyaya Shastra Pandit, is teaching. He's also a professor of Harvard. He's teaching Nyaya Shastra in Stony Brook. In India, very few people know either Vedanta or Advaita Vedanta or Nyaya Shastra. But the Western world is picking up all this. Harvard's teaching Vedanta. Now, this pleasant light, moonlight, when you see it, think, do you ever say, what beautiful sunlight? Imagine you're seeing with your family, looking at the beautiful full moon. Do you ever say what beautiful sunlight? No. So we are in that bliss of ignorance. You see what beautiful moonlight. But moon doesn't have light. It's the sun's light. But we are not aware. Just like that, you are unaware. We are pure consciousness, Ishvara's light, God's light. Start seeing that light in everyone. And the day you start to actually discriminate that nobody is separate from me, you are enlightened master. You are Buddha. You know what is Buddha means? The one who knows. Buddha, the one who knows. Knows what? This. Nobody is separate. So welcome to this world. We will take on a beautiful journey on this Sunday. More on talk on full moon. Jai Guru.